Welcome to Wrestling Talk. Today we're just going to talk about something I found very upsetting. Not in general, in general. I've been very positive on WWE lately, so I'm going to tell you some of the things that I don't like and never would like, and never did like. Here's the biggest one. War Games. Ever since they did War Games... Wait a minute. Ever since they did the first WWE Survivor Series War Games, the good guys have always won the War Games match except once, and that was surprisingly a men's match. And that was the Bloodline versus the Brawling Brutes and Drew McIntyre. That was the only time heels have ever won. In my opinion, the faces should not win every time. I know War Games is supposed to handle feuds, but a lot of the time, like the Four Horsemen were always bad guys, and they won War Games a lot. That's my point. Ric Flair and them have won War Games. Heels have historically won War Games, and I don't get why I don't necessarily get why you can't just have like a villain for once win War Games. It just makes no sense to me. War Games should be exciting. You shouldn't know who's going to win. For the past 2 years, whatever team Cody Rhodes was on, won. Whatever team Roman Reigns was on, won. You could have gave Solo a big opportunity about making him beat Roman Reigns in War Games, but you ruined it because Roman Reigns, good guy. We have to still make him look somewhat like a top contender. And then, you want me to tell you what I also hate more than that? The 3-match rule. If you notice, and there's a few exceptions to this, where there's a few exceptions to this where, like Drew McIntyre and Damian Priest recently, they only had 2 singles matches and 1 triple threat title opportunity on pay-per-views. But then you get something like Cody Rhodes and John Cena, where I'm talking about just on pay-per-views. Granted, they have a tag team match where Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso versus Logan Paul and John Cena, but still, you don't have to have 3 matches between Cody Rhodes and John Cena. 2 was good enough, trust me. The first one bombed. The only saving grace for the second one was Logan Paul and Jey Uso and Cody Rhodes when he was in there with Logan Paul. John Cena literally added nothing to that match, but it was still good when he was in it. But that was because everything else going around him was way much more exciting. And you want me to tell you what? They think that having a match that bombed at WrestleMania on one-on-one is going to be any better at SummerSlam one-on-one? That's diabolical. I hate that. And you want me to tell you what? That's the reason why you should be paying attention to what people say. Because listen, I know I'm considered, I wouldn't be considered the typical, YouTuber that, just complains about wrestling all the time. But listen, Jade Cargill versus Asuka was a terrible match. And then you want me to tell you what? And then you had her win to have another terrible match. Now listen, I'll give the women's division when they just the problem is half of the women's division now didn't stay on NXT that long. That's the problem. A lot of them are undertrained. Like Asuka was in NXT for years before they even let her get close to the main roster. And there was people like Adam Cole who deserved to be in the main roster and never even made it. And you're going to tell me that's fair? There's talented people in NXT who have been wrestling for years, like Ethan Page, who don't need to be in NXT. And then there's people who haven't wrestled very long in the long scheme of things, like Liv Morgan, who came up pretty much right away. That's the reason why you get better with age. But I'm going to say, this is WWE's old practice, where they would hire models that couldn't wrestle for 2 cents. And they didn't have NXT back then enough to train women wrestlers. Even there was good women's wrestlers, but it took them a long time to get there. That's the problem. You call people... Solo could have spent like 4 more years in NXT, and I would have been happy. Maybe he would improve a little bit, actually be interesting. And you want me to tell you what? The biggest problem is you call out people too soon before they really develop their character. Like, Liv Morgan is not entertaining. When she first debuted, she wasn't entertained, and now she still isn't entertaining. The most relevant she has ever been, in my opinion, is when Dominic, with the Dominic and Rhea storyline. That's the most relevant she has ever been in wrestling skills. But even then, they were terrible. I don't understand why you push people who fans cheer if they can't wrestle. Like, you want me to tell you what? I want you to be honest with me. Tell me a match, not tag team match, that Liv Morgan had that was fantastic. Rhea Ripley is cheating. You cannot say Rhea Ripley. It has to be with someone not as good as Rhea Ripley. It has to be like someone who is, like Shayna Baszler, who could have a good match depending on the opponent. You have... See, you probably can't think of one. Another thing I absolutely hate is that WWE just going to the same places, No, I actually hate... No, this is the truth. I hate this. I hate that the 2-night... I love... The one thing I do love is the 2-night pay-per-view platform, but I think that both world titles should be the main event. There's no reason to have the World Heavyweight Championship go second in a pay-per-view. It should main event the show just like the WWE Championship. The women should get the co-main event because they're world titles, and then there's no debating this. The tag team should either kick off the show or be somewhere in the middle of the show. That's how the booking should go. Instead of having the World Heavyweight Championship match first, then this, then that, then this, then that, then this, then that. You want me to tell you what they could have done? They could have been building up to SummerSlam right now as they speak, but instead they're worrying about Evolution. You could book Evolution and Saturday Night Main Event and worry about SummerSlam. Why not? Why are you just kicking this off now? You only have, and this is to book SummerSlam. Guess how many days they have left? They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. 22 days. What are you going to build that's good in 22 days? That's little more than a month. That's a little more than a week. Like 3 weeks. It's almost a month, but what can you build that's good in almost 1 month? You could have started the building, in my opinion, but you start building things slow. Just announce a match, You could have started this sometime in June. You could have built towards Evolution, Saturday Night event, and SummerSlam. You had 2 months to do something, and now you're going to wait till the very last minute to book something. That is stupid. Stupid, like Randy Orton would say. You know, something Randy Orton has said before. And you want me to tell you what also gets me angry? That street fight. Instead of creating a new original idea, you give us the same stupid stuff. Oh, we want to. Okay, how about we have 300 street fights, Hell in a Cell. Forget about the steel cage. Forget about. Oh, we'll have a strap match. Forget about the steel cage. Forget about the fight pit. Forget about tables match. Forget about table matches. Forget about I Quits. Forget about casket matches. Forget about First Blood. That would never happen again. But forget about creating something new and actually exciting. You want me to tell you what? It's always the same stuff. And there's no. What's exciting about Cody Rhodes and John Cena again? Add a stipulation. I don't know. Add a new stipulation that's actually interesting. Like, you want me to tell you what? An eye for an eye match. That was interesting, but also kind of stupid at the same time. Do that again. It would have to be someone with a mask against someone without, and you would know who would win the whole time. But at least it was something interesting and new. I can't believe I want to see another eye and for an eye match. Just because it's something new and exciting, it's just this ain't the same old regular match, street fight, strap match. You even have an old-fashioned Donnybrook match. You could do one of those again. Nah, we're gonna keep the same old boring stuff. We're gonna kick out all the stipulation pay-per-views like Hell in a Cell, Extreme Rules, Tables, Ladders, and Chairs. You could forget all about those. Anything that was ever exciting besides the Royal Rumble, Money in the Bank, WrestleMania, SummerSlam, and Survivor Series. You could forget about all those. Who cares? We're going to have no pay-per-views in December to build up something in February. 2 months to build up a Royal Rumble that's only going to have 3 matches in the Royal Rumble match itself. It makes no sense. You do not need to build. You don't need to build 2 months for Royal Rumble because 2 matches are already an hour and you only have 3. You can only fit 2 more matches at least at the bare minimum. So why even build a whole 2 months? Put another pay-per-view in there somewhere. I don't even care what it is. Just throw something in there. Bring back Extreme Rules. Bring back something interesting. Clash Night of Champions. Bring back something exciting. Stipulation. I don't care. Come up with a new match type. I want to see something new and exciting. Not the same old junk over and over and over and over and over and over again every pay-per-view. I don't want to keep seeing regular matches every pay-per-view. Make it exciting. Like, that's what made Hell in a Cell special, because it was a night all about Hell in a Cell matches. That's what made Extreme Rules exciting. It was a match about matches with no rules. It was at least something exciting. You could even bring back Fatal 4-Way. So, all Fatal 4-Way. At least it would be something interesting. You want me to tell you why? That's why I don't get it. Why would you... I get that was a stupid concept at the very beginning. You could even bring back Scrabble matches. It's something new and interesting. I'm tired of the same stuff over and over again. And now you add the King of the Ring. At least that's exciting. But the thing is, it's only the finals. I missed King of the Ring when the whole tournament was in one night. But the problem is, they can't go over 3 hours. And you want me to tell you what? If I had a 3-hour time limit, I would tell Peacock, you're going to raise that up, or we don't want to do business with you. You're going to at least give us 5. We're not going to use 5, but we need at least 5 to do stuff with. So WrestleMania could be a little bit longer, and we could have more matches. That's the bare minimum. I think WrestleMania should be no more than 5 hours instead of 3 hours. WrestleMania is supposed to be special, not like every other pay-per-view. Just because it has 2 nights doesn't mean it's special. Like, you want me to tell you, now SummerSlam has 2 nights, and that hasn't been important in years. Goodbye, that's all I have to complain about.